That right there?
Yeah.
All right, we live? All right, Charlamagne, might be good. Might be good, Charlamagne. Go ahead and leave that video.
Okay.
All right, Shalom, Israel. Shalom. All right, thanks for joining us again. All right, so we're back. Part 3 of Save the Children. We are on Houston's channel out of Norfolk, Virginia. Again, thank you for logging on. All right. We're back at it. So, just to let brothers and sisters know, we were going back over that Daniel's 1 and 3 just to show forth, the standard that our children had, but how they had that standard. What allowed them to be able to be taught, to be dedicated and learning all these different. Go ahead and read that Daniel's 1 and 3 again, please. Come on. Read that Daniel's 1 and 3, and if y'all can delete that video, actually delete all of it.
Daniel's chapter 1 and verse 3.
Go ahead.
And the king spake unto Ashpenaz, the master of his eunuchs,
Read.
that he should bring certain of the children of Israel,
Right.
and of the king's seed, and of the princes, children in whom was no blemish, but well favored, and skillful in all wisdom, and cunning in knowledge, and understanding science.
Think about that. Cunning in all knowledge, understanding sciences. These are brilliant children. But again, it's like, okay, well, what atmosphere were they in for them to have this? Because as we look now with our children, they're in an atmosphere of what? Chaos. They're in an atmosphere of having transgender teachers teach them English. They're in an atmosphere of what? Of hoping that their student next to them is not passing them cigarette weed. You know what I mean? You go and run into the bathroom and smoke weed now, pop pills, pop molly at the age of 17. I know they're probably in heights. What grade are y'all in? 6th grade?
Me?
Yes, my dear. 4th? 8th. Asiel? 6th. Aria? 4th. 2nd. He's just chilling, right? But think about it. Anaya, 10th grade. I know what I was doing in 10th grade. That was back in the day, but how much more now? You got social media, you have all these different things, all this different exposure for our children. We got to see that. Yeah, see, everything's better, right? Rakataya Howard. But I think it's actually a portrait mode. Whatever. We're live. But our children are exposed to a lot because we're amongst the enemy. See, but now we're starting to see why the Most High separated us. Why he didn't want Israel around every other nation in between them. All in the mess, learning their ways, learning how they brought their children up under their standards. See, we had a higher standard. Read that again.
Children in whom was no blemish, but well favored, and skillful in all wisdom.
Skillful in all wisdom. I love it. Put this on the house. This is the standard. Read.
And cunning in knowledge.
Go ahead.
And understanding science.
Understanding science. Read.
And such as had ability in them to stand in the king's palace.
And they could stand. They had manners. But I'm going to show you why. Go to Ecclesiastes 30. Ecclesiastes chapter 30 and verse, what did I want?
33.
Yeah, 33. No, my apologies. I wanted what?
33 and 10.
Yeah, 33 and 10. There it is. All right. Somebody's with me.
All right.
Let's get it. Go ahead.
Ecclesiastes 33 verse 10.
Yeah, Ecclesiastes chapter 33 and verse 10. Go ahead.
And all men are from the ground.
Uh-huh.
And Adam was created of earth.
Read.
In much knowledge the Lord hath divided them.
Right.
And made their ways diverse.
Man, I had some more scriptures. And made their ways diverse. Go ahead.
Some of them hath he blessed and exalted, and some of them he sanctified.
Think about that. He said he made their ways what?
Some of them.
No, it said, and made their ways diverse. We got to see that the Most High created people differently. Stop it with the madness. All people are not the same. No. Your skills as Israelites is higher. The brain function in your brain, your mind functions on a different level. We created everything. We created the refrigerator. We're the ones that did the telephone. We're the ones that brought forth the understanding of how to make the atomic bomb. That was us. It wasn't Esau. They just stole it. But it shows forth that he made their ways diverse. Right? You think Esau's a cunning hunter. That's all he knows how to do. Kill, kill, and kill. And then when he goes to business, what does he do? Kill, kill, and kill. Think about, what's his name? Donald Trump. A lot of Donald Trump's businesses tanked because he's a beast. See, but when it comes to us, we got swag, man. We got a little bit of, what's the word I want to use? We got flavor, but it goes deeper.
Seasoning. Not
seasoning. We have, it's etiquette, but we have,
charisma.
Yeah, charisma. We're special, man. I'm going to get the word. It's going to hit me.
How it's business shrink when you work like $2 billion?
Say that again.
How it's business shrink when you work like $2 billion?
No, I'm going off of his businesses that he's had. Their businesses were built on the backs of slaves. We're the ones that created it. They stole everything. These cats, the Bilderbergers, the DuPonts, these cats stole everything. They came over, they took from the natives, they made us work, they saw our inventions, they took it, and they just grew upon it. The Iron Age, who made all that equipment? That's the question. If you want to get deep, what you got?
Peculiar.
Nah, it's not. Well, peculiar is in the Bible, but it's a different word I'm looking for. It starts with an E. When it hits my mind, it'll hit my mind.
Etiquette.
Huh?
Etiquette.
I hit that already, but it's not etiquette. But it says our ways were diverse. Go ahead.
Some of them he sanctified and set near himself.
No. Start from verse 12.
Verse 12. Some of them hath he blessed and exalted.
Yeah, some of them he blessed and exalted. For children to be cunning in all knowledge and understand sciences and mathematics, and astrology, to know the stars, he had to bless us. The children, these are kids, 12 and under most likely, in the range of 7, 15, 14, their mind was buzzing. Think about it, like a lot of YouTube people that you look at, a lot of the things that they do that seems to be, outlandish and like, oh my God, I wish I could do that. You can, and you did. See? Our people were the ones who were, were able to be blessed. Go ahead.
And some of them he sanctified.
Go ahead.
And set near himself.
Yeah, he sanctified, cleansed, and set nearer to himself. That's Israelites. Go ahead.
But some of them have he cursed and brought low.
Yeah, even when you deal with their knowledge is low-level knowledge. They vibrate on a low frequency. When you deal with other nations, they're garbage. They have no spirit. They usually suck your spirit out. But what I'm showing you is that Israelites, our children, we were amongst each other. The Most High separated us. What you got?
When you read in the First Kings, Josiah, he was 7 years old when he reigned over Israel. And he reigned for about 40 years before he died. So that's just showing you the integrity and the smarts that we had for even his age.
Shine bun, you hit it. Exquisite. We was an exquisite people. Go ahead.
But yeah, he was 7 years old when he reigned in Israel.
Right.
For about 40 years. So it's just showing you that even from our youth, under 12, like you said, that we still had that smarts, we still had that wisdom, that knowledge, and that understanding.
Oh yeah.
He ruled the whole nation.
Think about that, and he learned it from his father. But that's why, like in that Daniel, it says that they were cunning, or it says that they, what does it say? Their learning was cunning? What did it say?
Cunning and knowledge.
Cunning and knowledge. Cunning means that you learn. They were taught. They were taught all knowledge. Go ahead, Gamoria.
Some of them have he cursed and brought low.
Read.
And turned out of their places.
Go ahead.
As the clay is in the potter's hand.
And he did that for Israel's sake. Everywhere we went to, he mowed down the nation so that they were not around us. But that was so that our kids can grow and be prosperous. That was so that our kids didn't have to see a bad example of the world. That was so that our kids didn't have to have what? Homosexuality all in their face. Because now what? Our kids what? Girl liking girl, boy liking boys. You got a girl that thinks she's a boy and a boy that wants to be a girl, and it's what? Confusion. But we're seeing that, think about it now. Whenever you see that, now your mind starts to race. Rather than thinking about the knowledge and things that the Most High wants to exalt you in, now you're thinking about low-level things. Fleshly. Man, I see my friend over there, man, she was holding hands with another girl, man. She said that was her girlfriend. What happens? Curiosity, huh? Kids have curiosity. What happens? You start searching it, looking it up, asking questions. See? The Most High didn't want that for our children. Go ahead.
To fashion it at his pleasure.
You have your hand raised? Go ahead. Pass the mic. Mic check, 1, 2. Keep her on. Go ahead. Go ahead. Check, mic check, 1, 2, 1, 2.
Just going back to the point on you saying that the kids are curious in those issues with theater, friends, you know, going into like the lesbianism and then men liking men. The scripture also says that be not curious in unnecessary matters.
Right.
So I just wanted to say that.
Oh yeah, it's facts. But again, but we have to see the bigger plan of what the Most High was trying to do for us. See, a lot of us don't understand why he was separating the nations amongst us. Everybody wants to do what? Let's all hold hands. We're all one people, held and over not. You know why? Because some nations do what? Some nations extremely filthy. How they treat their women, what they do to little girls, what they do to the little boys. We don't get up into it. And we'll show you that. Why? This part with the mental health is highly important because their brain is a psychological warfare that's being put up on our kids. That was one of the first classes I ever did as a teacher. Psychological warfare. Go back to it. 3 years ago. It's crazy. But I went through my notes and I was like, that's a heavy class because we don't really understand or see what the enemies is trying to do to us. But keep reading where you're at.
And I'm going to start 13 over. As the clay is in the potter's hand,
Read.
to fashion it at his pleasure, so man is in the hand of him that made him.
Yeah, so is the man of him that made him. Go ahead.
To render to them as liketh him best.
Yeah, we got to see the Most High created us different. He made us more elite. Go to 1 Chronicles 17. 1 Chronicles chapter 17 and verse 21, just to get out these scriptures about how the Most High allowed our children to be better. Us seeing his plan of why he separated us from these filthy heathens. These individuals are, I know there's kids in here, but I don't have to go into details to show forth what they do. Because why? We think they're our friends. If that's the case, we'll go ahead and do the same thing that they do then. You want to be gay? Well, how much more go into the tribe of where they shave down the woman's clitoris? Let's bring that out. That's what these nations do. With the men. They make men play with animals, man. It's crazy. But this is what the Most High was keeping us separate from. It's crazy. But I can understand it, and I see what it has done. And that's the point of this class, is to show forth, how the nations try to defile our children, to make them not a Daniel's 1 and 3. What they're doing to continually defile our spirit. And I said it earlier, and just for the brothers and sisters coming on to the class, think about it. It is 2020 right now. Majority of us older adults are 89 and back? I'm 89. You got some 70s, you may have some 60s, some 50s online, right? 40s. But think about how you were raised. You weren't raised up on social media. You weren't raised up on TV. The kids nowadays they're exposed to what? All of that. So just think how bad your habit is on social media, being that you've seen it for the last 10 years. How much more your child now being literally born into it. That's all they know is their phone. Their phone is their mom, their father, their friend, their comforter. It's everything. And it's their judge. Because why? You can go in there and cut somebody quick. It's the judge as well. But it shows forth, again, the setting that we're in, man. I want to make everybody understand the setting that we're in. And how those kids were able to grow the way they are. Or to grow the way they did. Read where you at.
1 Chronicles chapter 17 and verse 21.
Go ahead.
And what one nation?
What?
One nation.
And if you didn't know, there's 18 nations in the Bible. But it says what?
What one nation?
What one nation? Go ahead.
In the earth is like thy people.
It's like who?
Thy people.
Read.
Israel.
Because Israel is God's chosen children. Stop with the madness. God chose everybody. No. The Most High don't change. There was one nation that the Most High chose. Go ahead.
Whom the Most High went to redeem to be his own people.
Go ahead.
To make thee a name of greatness and terribleness.
Think about that. He wanted us to be great. You know how DJ Khaled, you great. You awesome. You small. Right? We are great. If we allow ourselves to, if you allow your brain to process the things that needs to be processed, if you listen, if you learn, we're able to be great. Read.
And terrible.
And that's another class I have coming, because the Most High will fight for you, which made you terrible in the eyes of the nation. The Most High killed other nations for you. For you, for you, for you. For your ancestors. He did that. It's in history. Written in stone. The Most High destroyed nations for our children, man. That's what he was doing it for. Why do you think he had to kill all those people in the wilderness? Y'all old heads gotta go. Let's bring up something new and fresh. Huh? The time in Noah's time, y'all gotta go. Let's bring up something new and fresh. Because why? The kids are important. Save the children. Save their minds. Save their bodies. The Most High is beautiful. He's doing it for y'all. He's doing it for us. Read.
By driving out nations from before thy people.
Think about that. Driving nations out before us. If you read the Bible, before we went into certain lands, it's either we gave them a check. We roll checked them real quick. He was like, listen, y'all can get up out of here, or we're going to come through and take everything you got. Pick your choice. He moved nations. Some said, okay, we're going to get up out of here. Some didn't. So they had to feel it. They had to touch the Almighty's hand. Read.
Whom thou hast redeemed,
right,
out of Egypt.
Because he did. Go ahead.
For thy people Israel didst thou make thine own people forever.
For how long?
Forever.
Read that again.
For thy people
I love this.
Israel didst thou make thine own people.
The Most High made Israelites his own people. Why do you think those children are so bright? And it has me to think, dang, well, what knowledge did Adam have when they were living amongst everybody, ruling the world? What knowledge did Solomon have? Think about that. Our people were bright. He chose us for his own people forever. Read.
And thou, Lord, becamest their God.
And became their power. So we got to see that the Most High was making a separation. Leviticus 20 and 26. Leviticus chapter 20 and verse 26, because this is powerful to understand that the Most High was setting up a platform. And I'm going to say this. Whenever you hear this word cult that comes out, that's baloney. That's a word that somebody on the outside looking in doesn't understand.
That's right.
Of a body, of a faction of people that live a certain way. They will call the Israelites, and back in the day, a cult. Why? Because we didn't deal with nobody else. Nobody's forced. See, but they don't understand that it was bringing righteousness. It was bringing forth knowledge, wisdom, stability. Why do you think the world's not stable? Because now we've been influenced by Esau. Esau ain't stable. He's mentally delusional. He's a psychotic individual. But look at our people. We act just like him. Our kids act just like him. Because he's the one teaching us. That's why the Most High wanted us separated. Or the scriptures say severed. Right? Let's get it. Go ahead.
Leviticus 20 verse 26.
Go ahead.
And ye shall be holy unto me.
We shall be what?
Ye shall be holy unto me.
And when you deal with holy, it's set apart. You're going to be a unique people. Holy. Clean. You kids, you're not going to think the same way. You're not going to walk the same way as Judy and Jim. Judy and Jim are lame. You're not. Right? We're not Zazak. You're not, brother. He says we're going to be a what?
Ye shall be holy unto me.
Go ahead.
For I, the Lord, am holy.
Read.
And have severed you.
He did what?
Have severed you.
Read.
From other people.
He severed us. Stop the madness, people. You people online. It says he severed us from other people. Sever means to disunite. He set us apart. He took us away from the whites. He took us away from the Arabs. He took us away from the Chinese, Japanese, the Russians, the Italians. Y'all gotta go down the line? South Africans, Africans. He separated us from them. He separated us from their influence. He didn't want you to be influenced by their mind. He didn't want you to be influenced by their guys, by their culture. Because we're the real culture. Why do you think they call them what? Culture vultures. Because they try to steal our swag. What you got?
So what Martin Luther King did was abomination to us?
Yes, and we can go into that another day, definitely. The scripture says that there was going to be prophecies, I have a dream, I have a dream. Yes. Well, think about it. What he's saying is contradicting the Bible, right? So who's right? Acts 5:29. You rather obey God rather than man.
That's right.
See? A lot of people don't read the Bible, so they really don't understand when someone tries to do what? Let's all hold hands together. Hell no. Because my child's life was on the line. My child's life was on the line. I can't do that. They're vulnerable and impressionable mind. I can't allow someone to touch that. I got to shelter them. That's what the Most High was doing. He was sheltering Israel. What is messed up?
No, you're good.
He was sheltering Israel. He was trying to protect us like a lot of parents do their children, right? He don't let y'all go out to the streets. And if you do go somewhere, it's probably with somebody else wearing fringes. Think about that, because why? They will defile you, and you'll end up dead like people on the street. You know what I mean? Young girls and boys that are found dead weekly. There's a girl from Norfolk that caught a ride with somebody she met online. Her body was found in Florida. What you got, Moana? Pass her the mic. Mic check. Let's get it. Go ahead.
When Tiana was little, both my parents and Ariana had a problem with how we were doing things differently with her than everybody else. But now, after them seeing that we stayed consistent with it, my grandparents will say of all of the grandparents, of all the grandkids, that our kids are the most well-behaved and mannered and know what to do, that you can see that there's a clear difference between the parenting from our kids and everybody else.
Right.
And that's from being around everybody.
Bring it out, sister. But what was that? It was the standard of the Bible. Yeah, you can't have it so low. It's probably too loud. It's okay, guys. It's all right. Life goes on. But yeah, so come over here and just turn it down. Yeah, so y'all got to see that. We have to see that. Even the sister just said that her family said that there was a difference with their children. Obviously, your family is outside the truth. Right. They don't have the knowledge. So when they see children acting in a certain way, they're like, oh my God, this is different. Yeah, but it came by the principle of the Bible. It came through the upbringing of being separated. Your children are basically separated from the world. But it's a good thing though, because what do y'all really don't know what the world is about. A lot of kids, and we're going to go into it, because social media makes it what? So enticing. We're going to go into it. The class might go extra 30 minutes today. But we're going to go into it just to show forth that what the world has to offer is destroying our kids. But where we at?
Leviticus chapter 20, verse 26.
Yeah, read that one more time.
And ye shall be holy unto me, for I the Lord am holy.
Right?
And have severed you from other people.
Go ahead.
That ye should be mine.
Read.
A man also or woman.
Oh, that's it. Go to Deuteronomy 26 and 17. Deuteronomy chapter 26 verse 17, just to show forth why the Most High wanted us separate. And this is just on your point, what you just said, I'm going to want, it goes right with it. Because he was going to teach us a standard outside of what the nations knew. He was going to hold us and require us to be different. Special. See, a lot of us want to be basic and garbage. I'm going to say this. The nation's knowledge is basic and garbage. There's no fundamental understanding. There's no fundamental growth. Why? Because they're all about their flesh. They're all about their flesh. When you deal with, it was a couple classes ago, I was bringing up a certain philosophy group. They're called the, I just forgot. Oh my goodness. They're called the Epicureans. There they go. The Epicureans. It's a philosophy. But that's basically what America's been built upon. But the Epicureans believed in doing what makes you happy. Like your lust, whatever it is. But in the Epicureans, you had men and women that like kids. Where do you think this pedophilia comes from? It comes from their ideology. It's been going on since the ancient days. The Epicureans are actually in the Bible, just to let you know. You can read it in Acts. Yeah, another class. The Epicureans. But this is how America has been formulated and what they're pushing to our children to defile them. Be what you want to be, even though it's against what God wants. Eat what you want to eat, even though it's against what God wants. See, that's why the Most High wanted us separate. Read where you at. Deuteronomy.
Deuteronomy chapter 26 and verse 17.
Go ahead.
Thou hast avouched the Lord this day to be thy God.
Slow it down.
Thou hast avouched the Lord this day to be thy God.
And when you deal with a vouch, the word avouch means to make frank acknowledgement or affirmation. You're showing forth that you acknowledge the Most High as your leader, as your power. Go ahead.
And to walk in his ways. And to keep his statutes.
To do what?
To keep his statutes.
It says to walk in his ways and to do what?
And to keep his statutes.
That's what made us different. We walked in his ways. But you know what happened? We start to walk in the ways of our captors. We start walking in the way of our oppressors. We start teaching our kids in the way of our oppressors. Go ahead.
And his commandments. And his judgments.
Read.
And to hearken unto his voice.
Everything. Walk in his ways. Keep his statutes and his commandments and his judgments. Go ahead.
And to hearken unto his voice.
Read.
And the Lord hath avouched thee this day to be his peculiar people.
Anybody know what peculiar means without looking it up?
Strange.
Yeah. Uncommon. That's right on point, Isaiah. Strange. When they look at us, we do look strange. Why? Because your face lights up, man. You walk differently. You talking differently. Then who's this guy now, man? His whole talk is different. You used to be the hothead. Now what's you? Calm. Chill. Like Solomon. I really try to imagine how Solomon was living. How he was talking. You know? How his children, how they were moving around. The prophet's children, how they were moving around. It says we were going to be a peculiar people. Check this out. Peculiar goes into this. Distinctive in nature or character from others. There's a distinct difference. You shine different. You smile different. You talk different. There's a distinctive nature or character from others, or distinctive in nature or character from others. That's how we are. Go ahead.
As he had promised thee.
And I'm going to say this, and even in Daniel's, that's why the other nations were so surprised, man. They were amazed at our children. How much more now? If we continue in doing and teaching on a different level, not basics. I'm talking about let's go in, let's have conversation, let's go into philosophy. Let's go on sociology. Let's go on a little bit of mathematics, you know? Let's go on a little bit of understanding of psychology, people. Because a lot of people don't want to really recognize people. We don't want to go into if a person's mad or sad. We don't want to think about that. We only think about ourselves. That's America. America moves like that. They teach about individuality. We're not caring about each other. See, our children cared about each other. Our adults cared about each other because that's what they taught them. Read.
And that thou shouldest keep all his commandments. And to make thee high above all nations which he had made.
That's what the Most High wanted to do. Make us high above some nations.
All nations.
Say it again.
Above all nations.
Yeah, he wanted to make us above all nations. Go ahead. There it is.
Which he had made. In praise and in name.
Go ahead.
And in honor. And that thou mayest be an holy people unto the Lord thy God.
But you know what happened? With Isaiah 24 and 5? Isaiah chapter 24 and verse 5. Actually, you can hold that. Go to Psalms 106 and 39 first. Psalms 106 and 39. But what happened? The Most High wanted us separated. But Israel wanted to do what? We wanted to see what was going on in the mother streets. We want to see what everybody else doing. Not knowing that the Most High was setting you up to be king of all, queen of all. Read where you at.
Psalms 106:39.
Go ahead.
Thus were they defiled with their own work.
Nah, you know what I want. 35, there it is.
Psalm 106:35.
Go ahead.
But were mingled among the heathen. and learn their works.
See, rather than learning the knowledge of God for our children, we start teaching them what we learned from the heathen. This was the destroyer right here of the mentality of our people. And we're going to go deeper to show forth more specifics in how the nations defile our children. But it says we were mingled amongst the heathen. Go ahead.
And learn their works.
Read.
And they served their idols.
Yeah, and we served their idols. That took away all our knowledge. That took away all our purpose. It took away everything that the Most High was trying to give us. Read.
Which were a snare unto them.
And it was a snare unto them. Isaiah 24 and 5. Isaiah 24 and 5, because we're seeing that that snare was enticed by the wicked. It came forth out of these nations. The Most High set us on high. And I want this for all parents to consider and to think though too, man. It's like, are we still aware that we're in a battle? Are we aware that we are in the enemy's, what do they call it? Enemy's throat, what is it? Like when you deep into the enemy's territory?
Belly.
Huh?
Belly.
We're deep in our enemy's territory. So what does that mean? They're firing at us continually, but are we aware and alert? Are we alert and aware that this is happening? That our enemies don't want us to survive? That they want our children to be rooted out this earth? They want our children to be lazy. Why do you think they give them all the garbage food? They want them to be lazy. And then what do they tell us? Blacks, oh, y'all are lazy. What do you mean? We worked over 400 years for you for free. Huh? We got people still working slave jobs now. Talking about we're lazy. Who built the buildings, you big fool? Who built the buildings? But what do they say? All these derogatory things because that's what they want us to think that we are. But we're not. Y'all are more than just what? Gamers. Are you for real? That's it? You an expert at games? Oh my goodness. Is that it? You expert at Snapchat pictures? Instagram? Netflix Finder? You can search any title? Think about it. But we have to see that where we're at is not a proper place for us to raise our children. Now we can, but what I mean by that is this, is that we have to be aware of where we're at. Read where you at.
Isaiah chapter 24 and verse 5.
Go ahead.
The earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof.
Yeah, the earth is defiled. Kids, y'all got to understand, when y'all watch things on YouTube, these people that don't have the Bible, they're what?
Defiled.
They're defiled. Their conscience is defiled. They're not God-fearing people. They don't care about God. They don't care about you. They care about exposing and using you. It ain't love. It's fake love. I know y'all know the song by Drake. Fake love. How'd it go? Anybody? Right? Fake love? Whatever it was. Might have jammed that. But still, fake love. It ain't real. Keep reading. It says the land is defiled. Go ahead.
Under the inhabitants thereof.
By the inhabitants thereof. Who owns where we're at? Esau. Who owns the other countries? Esau and the other nations. But they're all defiled. We're going to go into it. Read.
Because they have transgressed the law.
They've done what?
Transgressed the law.
They don't follow our laws and statutes that made us great. We're not even following those laws and statutes that make us great. And we're coming back to that. Don't get me wrong. We're definitely coming back to it. But I'm trying to spark that brain to where it's like, okay, dang, I need to be more on top of the children. We have to be more on top of their mind. You know what they do a lot? They sit here and do this. Oh, bro. We still locked on. I was trying to hate on me, man. What part was on?
Isaiah chapter 24 and verse 5.
Yeah, we still on? Back at it? Huh? Back at it like a Christ addict? Yeah, it might be the storm. We still good? Mic check 1. Go ahead. I forgot where I was at.
The earth also is defiled,
right?
under the inhabitants thereof,
Go ahead.
because they have transgressed the law.
Go ahead.
Change the
It
ordinance.
doesn't change the ordinances. We're amongst people that don't do things the right way. Let's understand this. Their way is death. Their ideology is death. Their entertainment is death. Think about it. It's entertainment. It's to entertain and distract you. Really, entertainment is just to distract us. I don't even remember the last time I had a game on my phone. Dead serious. I don't have games on my iPad. Any game? No games, sir. No games. I don't play no game. What do you say, Ariel? I don't have no controller, man. I ain't playing no games, man. You know? I was thinking about getting Guitar Hero just for, zoning out in the room. But still, but why though? Because there's more things to look into. There's more things where our mind can be occupied within. See, but America, the nation that we're underneath, all these other countries, they changed the ordinances. Read.
Broken the everlasting covenant.
Proverbs 12 and 26. Proverbs 12 and verse 26. They've broken the everlasting covenant. All these things are going to make our children great, man. And you know what happens? This is what happens whenever you get on what? The games. And I'm going to say this. Nothing against gaming. There's nothing wrong with playing games. Let me do the what do they call it? Disclaimer. There it is. Thank you, brother. Disclaimer. Nothing wrong with playing games. Nothing wrong with sports. The thing is what are you giving your spirit over to it the most? What are you giving yourself over to the most? Is it something that'll be able to where you can be increased by it, nourished by it? What you got? Someone's at the door. Are you being nourished by it? Is it giving you an advantage in this thing we call life? What is it? Or is it just social media? Huh? Listen, I know the addiction. I know how it feels to wake up in the morning. It's so funny. While I'm sliding, I'm thinking like, nigga, are you serious? I'm really sliding. My phone really got me doing this. Huh? We have to understand that for our children and for us to be that Daniel's 1 and 3, we have to separate ourselves. I'm not saying fully. They're saying understanding, what they're doing to us. But read where you at. We're going to get into it.
Proverbs
12 and 29.
12 and 29.
Go ahead. Perfect. 12 and 26. My apologies.
Proverbs 12 and 26.
Mm-hmm.
The righteous is more exalted, excellent,
right,
than his neighbor.
We are. The righteous is more excellent. The Most High made us different. We are excellent. We're exquisite. We're superb. We're fascinating to the eyes of other people. Ooh, I like your hair. Oh, can I touch it? Think about it. Can I touch it? Hell no. Royalty. Maybe better step back. You think anybody came up in Solomon's spot? Solomon came to the door? No, Solomon had servants. We should hold ourselves in the same standard. Even the children, man. Y'all are sharp. Brilliant. Can be. Depending on what you're soaking up. Keep reading.
But the way of the wicked.
But the what?
The way of the wicked.
Read.
Seduceth them.
Yeah, the way of the wicked seduceth our children. Whenever we see what? The Instagram, Snapchat, how other people are living. They're so free. That's what Eve said. Eve saw something different. That knowledge. Ooh. Lips was quivering. Ooh, my little lips were saying. No, you had everything. You were just looking at filth and defilement. It's so easy to go to that left-hand side. It's easy to go to the left-hand side. To give ourselves to what? Nothingness. Confusion. Chaos. Because you know what happens? Whenever we give ourselves to these seducing things, we become so seduced, you look like you seduced like this. You don't know what's going on. You be like, I don't know why I'm acting the way I'm acting. My life is just seeming so out of control. Yes, because the people that you're following are out of control. Read it again. And I'm going to show you how.
From the beginning.
Please.
The righteous is more excellent than his neighbor.
Go ahead.
But the way of the wicked seduceth them.
The way of the wicked seduce. Y'all are getting seduced if you didn't know. Yes, I know. I know. Everybody wants to be just like an American, a European. But look how filthy they are. See, y'all don't know their dirty little secrets. Y'all know their dirty. You want me to expose them a little bit for y'all? If y'all want me to expose them, raise your hand, because I'm bringing out some heavy stuff. Anybody just raise your hand, put sevens in the chat if you want me to expose some of the wickedness that the people that we follow do. I need a higher. I can't see. I got bad eyesight too. Oh, okay. No, we do. Yeah, because I ain't trying to break nobody's heart or nothing here. But we're gonna start seeing. Look at that. Yeah, right. Bakar Gabar. Esau is a monster at witchcraft. He seduces with his entertainment. You know, and that is facts, man. It's sad because I don't even look at sports the same. Bro, I ain't gonna lie, I like sports. But one good thing about sports, I was in Japan, I didn't have a TV, so I kind of desensitized myself from enjoying it. But just all the different things, man, it's sad how they have our people moving around like animals. But still, it says that they seduce us. Go to Wisdom of Solomon. Wisdom of Solomon 4 and 12. Wisdom of Solomon chapter 4 and verse 12. And now we're going to get into it a little bit just to understand how they do seduce children. Because this is what the topic is. Save the children. What games are you constantly playing, man? You know they got word games. They got finding word games. You know? And it's funny, man, because Esau does a fantastic job at it. But if you really know the back history of it, they've been doing this for a long time. There's a just to let y'all know, I'll get his name for you. It's Sigmund. It was Sigmund Freud's nephew. Sigmund Freud had a nephew, right? And this individual, he came to America. Let me show you. Huh? What you guys say? You want to say something?
No, I said you go.
Oh, yeah, Sigmund Freud's nephew, right? But he came to America. Check this out. Let me put you on game real quick. Put you on some game. I love psychology, but Sigmund Freud's nephew, forgot his name. There it is, Edward Bernays. His name was Edward Bernays. But his job when he came to America was on manipulating the mind. How to manipulate the mind. That's what he taught the government. Oh, I know. Think about it. I don't want my man to manipulate me, don't you? You ain't got to worry about your man. Worry about the government. Huh? Worry about the apps that you're on. Think about it. Think about your phone. Let me show you something. Let's go into this dude, Edward Bernays, just real quick. Because I want to show you, it goes with the scripture. Let's go into it. Yeah, so Edward Bernays was an Australian-American pioneer in the field of public relations and propaganda. So propaganda is something that is supposed to show forth in front of you to change your mind, to change your way of thinking, right? Hitler said it the best. You keep showing somebody something over and over, eventually they'll believe it. It's propaganda, right? But I want the specifics with this guy. He went into manipulation, and he made a statement about America, how we're like cattle. Once you control their mind, you can have them move however you want to. That's him, Edward Bernays. Do your research on it. You can look him up, kids, adults. Edward Bernays, EDWARD BERNAYS, Bernays. Just going into that psyche. But this is what they do. Wisdom of Solomon 4 and 12. Plenty of time. Come on.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 4, verse 12. For the bewitching of naughtiness doth obscure things that are honest.
See, this scripture right here goes so hard. Break it down. For the bewitching of naughtiness. Who knows what bewitching means? Anybody? Bueller. What you got?
Tricking.
A little bit louder so they can hear.
Tricking. Basically, what you was just saying, manipulation of the mind.
Right.
Bewitching.
Bewitching. Check this out. Bewitching goes into that has power to bewitch or fascinate. Let's break it down. For the fascinating of naughtiness, they try to make naughtiness look beautiful. They make our minds be like, oh man, that's dope. Two boys kissing boys. Oh, interesting. Bewitching means they fascinate, it goes in, that has power to control by the art of pleasing. They make you think that naughtiness, negativeness, sin is pleasing. It makes it pleasing to you. What you got?
Yeah, that's why they'll make movies and it'll be about, like, say, a homosexual boy.
Right.
And they'll make it, and they'll like try to cover like, make it kind of like a sad thing, like when he's rejected for how he is or something.
Oh yeah.
They'll put like some type of
music
storyline, that tries to captivate the emotions of the viewer,
right?
To like be sympathetic towards his what he deals with.
Oh yeah.
Instead of seeing that what he's doing from the get-go ain't even right.
Right on point. I'm gonna say it again. If you haven't watched the movies Cuties, you need to watch that. Because that is a movie that you have to see. I know you don't like to watch it. You need to, because that's the fact of what's going on. They make it hot to where 11 and 12 and 10-year-old girls, when they twerk, it is okay. You gotta look at the angles of the camera. Look at the angles of the camera. Let's go in a little deeper. I'm gonna give you one scene. There was a scene where they ran into this one building. I think it was playing laser tag, and they didn't pay. So there were two associates. They kind of, what are y'all guys doing in here? We're gonna call the police, right? There's 4 girls. They said they're gonna call the police. One girl went in front and started dancing. They said, "Go Jara, go Jara." She's doing a little dance, right, in front of the two security guards. One of the security guards was like this. "Oh yeah. She was twerking." He was like, "Yeah." Like, she's 10 years old. And the other guy, check this out. That's how you know the French, that they knew exactly what they're doing, because the other guy was like, "What the hell's wrong with you?" Like, but they were giving a message over that's okay. Go ahead.
Well, I was gonna wait till you're done the point.
Oh no, that's it.
There's a movie right now, I think it's called Gemini Man with Will Smith.
That was a good one.
And he's basically trying to kill himself. It's his clone trying to kill him.
Right.
And when I watch it, I'm kind of thinking like that's how you have our people brainwashed now.
Right.
It's nothing to kill somebody who looks just like you.
Right.
You both got a common enemy that's oppressing both of you.
Right.
So in this movie, they're basically the clone is trying to kill him by the same employer, basically.
Right.
The employer is trying to take out the real Will Smith by using a clone of himself, and the clone, he basically thinks like everybody else, but he just thinks, but he's in tune, he's in one mind with his employer that was the scientist that cloned the real Will.
Right.
But it doesn't even register to think, why am I trying to kill this dude? And he looks just like me.
Right.
Identical to me. You've been cloned and you're a real person with a brain, but you don't even see like something's wrong here.
Right.
That's how we is out in the world right now.
I like that, because we're going to go into it. This verse right here goes hard. Read it again. A little bit louder. Do you have some Carter?
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 4, verse 12.
Go ahead.
For the bewitching of naughtiness,
right,
doth obscure things that are honored.
Now, and you got to break this whole scripture down, because it says, for the bewitching of naughtiness, for making naughtiness look approved and okay, doth obscure things that are honest. Obscure means to darken. Now their conscience is slowly but surely being darkened by what they're seeing and what they're looking at, what they're giving their mind to, whatever games. They're getting desensitized and darkening their mind. It says, obscure means to tarnish. They're tarnishing their morality. When you're on, think about Instagram. Instagram, all of this is about twerking right now. What you got, Amwana?
When Tiana was in kindergarten,
they
were in gym class, and they have them all lined up, and they all had to bend over.
You're right.
In front of the person right behind them, and the guy grabbed her behind, and she knocked him out.
Oh, a teacher or is it a student?
No, the kid.
Right.
Because they're bending over right in front of each other. So
Right.
they're putting it there that, okay, it's okay, bend over, do all this in front of a guy right behind you.
Right.
And if he grabs you, you're supposed to be okay with it. She ended up knocking him out and
Right.
almost got suspended for that.
Come on, sister, but almost suspended for an individual inappropriately touching a child.
Exactly.
But it shows forth the mentality that they're in. Check this out. Even if a coach was at least some sort of, man, has some type of dignity and smarts and morale with him, he'll have him turn around, move, or give a certain distance between. But they don't even think about that. They don't consider. But why? Because it says naughtiness doth obscure things that are honest. It darkens. So they don't think there's nothing wrong with it. That's why a lot of kids don't think there's nothing wrong with what they see on Snapchat or Instagram. Read it again.
For the bewitching of naughtiness doth obscure things that are honest.
Yeah, it obscures the things that are honest. Read.
And the wandering of concupiscence.
And I'm going to say this, the things that are honest is a child's mind. A child's mind is honest, man. Until it's been what? Until it's been touched. Until it's been defiled. Until now there's something that's coming to their processor, their program of the computer to do what? Now there's a virus in it, man. Now it's starting to move different. It's starting to talk different. Why? Because it's been exposed. It's been exposed to something that the Most High never wanted in them. Why do you think that the Most High was killing people back in the day in our law? Because he didn't want that virus to spread. He didn't want the virus to spread to our people. But look at it now. Ooh, it's ingrained within us now. Why do you think we're so dirty? Huh? Why do you think we're so hard on you kids? On what you watch, what you do, how you move, how you talk? Because you don't know that that's not the proper way to be. You've learned that from someone else. It says it does obscure the things that are honest. You got an honest, pure spirit. You're pure until what happens? You start seeing things that, oh, I didn't know that was real. See a little nudity. Everything's nudity now. Everything's showing figure. The way somebody talks. Think about that. You can act like and hide it. Oh, it's back in the back of your brain. Sitting there marinating. Stop playing games, man. The Most High already told us. It said it's thus obscure the things that are honest. Read.
And the wandering of concupiscence.
Now, and the wandering of the concupiscence. Does anybody know what that means? The wandering of the concupiscence. What you got, Proverbs?
Is it like a desire or lustful desire?
Something like that. I like that. What else you got?
I was going to go like in the same realm as she did. Like concupiscence is like deals with like sexual lust and desires.
Let me get
I might remember wrong.
Yeah, the wandering concupiscence goes into my phone. That's hilarious.
Okay.
Check this out. Check this out. Wandering. It's the brain, you see. I just want to be on point.
I got it.
What do you got?
Concupiscence.
Strong
sexual desire, lust.
Go ahead. Is that it?
Probably more.
I need more. What you got? I'm wondering having the definition. What you got?
Visually sensual, longing, involuntary sexual arousal.
What else?
Sinful lust.
Right. I like that. What you got, Aria?
Same thing.
What you got?
They actually that's like sex ed class. They kind of teach you like to explore your sexual identity.
And then you gotta ask yourself why.
And they even say nowadays, I don't know if you know, they teach the kids they tell them to masturbate.
Say that again.
They tell them to masturbate, like it's a way to keep them from having sex.
Oh,
and all that's gonna do is build up the lust.
I can go into
then
that.
when they're older, they're gonna they're gonna be raping or dropping pills and drinks, things like that.
Right. What you got, Aria?
All right. This is from the Webster 1828.
Uh-huh.
It says to covet or lust after, to desire or an unlawful or irregular desire of sexual pleasure.
Yeah, we got that. We got that.
In a more general sense, the coveting of carnal things or an irregular appetite for worldly good.
There it is, the irregular appetite. But what I like, it says wandering concupiscence. Because they've been so exposed, now what's happening? Their mind is constantly what? Wandering. They desire that. They're thinking about it. They wake up, dreams, thought process, imagination. Why can they be like this again? Like what's really? You gotta ask. What's on your mind? Oh, nothing. Oh no, there's something on that mind. Why? Because I was the same way. You be just in the zone, right? My fault. I wasn't looking at you. I was actually looking through you. What you got, Prophet Zion? Hold on.
It says, as a selfish human desire for an object, person, or experience.
Right. I like that. Where'd you get that from?
It's the biblical meaning of
What is the website? It says
www.definitions.net.
Right. So read that last part again.
It's, as the selfish human desire for an object, person, or experience.
Experience. That's what I want. An experience. So the wandering concupiscence of the experience. Read the scripture again so we can just bring it all together. Since we're all locked in right now.
Wandering of the
Whole thing. Bring that back.
For the bewitching of naughtiness doth obscure things that are honest.
Right.
And the wandering of concupiscence doth undermine the simple mind.
It undermines the simple mind. It undermines, takes over. It's like it's like when you click into the matrix, you're a whole different person, man. Because now you've been exposed to. Did somebody have a hand up? What you've been exposed to.
Red dress.
Come on. What you got, Allison?
I have a definition of wandering.
Please.
A traveling without a settled course.
You can go a little bit louder, please.
A traveling without a settled course.
Traveling without a settled course, so you're wandering, you're free, you're open, okay.
Uncertainty, want of being fixed. A roving of the mind or thoughts from the point of or business in which one ought to be engaged.
That's what I want. The roving of the mind. The mind is just roving. But why? Because your desire is to want those things that were taught by the wicked. It says, again from the top, it says, for the bewitching of naughtiness. They make it seem nice. Let's go to social media. Who got Instagram? Raise your hand. Okay. And I'm going to say this. Is there a child lock on Instagram? Hell no. No, they're open to everything. Snapchat. Who got a Snapchat? Facebook. I'm going to do it, though. They got the international games. The games. What is it? What game you play?
I play on my phone.
Yeah, on your phone. Call of Duty Warfare. You can talk to people on there, right?
On mobile.
No, I'm saying you can talk to people on there.
Yeah, but
I can't hear you.
people hardly talk.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and what else? What's the other game? You have, what game y'all play?
NBA 2K21.
Oh, okay. All right. NBA 2K21. Not too crazy. But we got the other one that everybody plays is Fortnite. Everybody's on Fortnite, right? But it's like, it goes from Fortnite to Instagram or Instagram to Fortnite. You know how they do their tags, link it up with the Instagram, right? But they have all these different platforms where you can communicate. But here's the question. What's being communicated? Oh, there's things. Yeah, nothing but something. It's something. Oh, it's something. Because why? That's why that mind starts to wander and starts to get corrupted. Our kids' minds are slowly but surely mentally being destroyed. Mentally being destroyed. Did you send me that, Tiana? Because we're going to go into it, even dealing with social media. Just real quick. Dealing with social media and how social media affects your mental health. And it's not only social media, it's the games. Why? Because you lose when you want to win. So what happens? Now your self-esteem's down. You want to turn off the game while everybody's on it because you feel bad. Huh? You don't have a certain amount of likes on a picture. You did the butt thing and all. I have nothing to offer. And nobody still liked it. Now you feel like what?
Oh, damn, nobody.
That's facts. We got to see that social media. Think about it. Think about it for you adults. Think about what it's done for you and how you think about it. How much more now your children, that's what? More more simple-minded, more malleable, more impressionable, and more open to be hurt. Why do you think there's so many depressed teens? Why do you think there's so many young women that are literally trying to sexualize themselves, not knowing that they're sexualizing themselves just to get likes and friendships? Huh? They always, every time they see a boy, what they gotta do, pull up their pants. It's like, are you for real? Pull the tights all up in the butt. Are you for real? It's like, bro, it's like a new habit thing. Like this. Like, what is that? Where'd they learn that from? Why? Because now they're trying to impress. They're trying to make themselves feel as what? Yeah. He's gonna like that. She's gonna like that. But I'm gonna show you something. Mental health. Mental health includes our emotions, psychological and social well-being. It affects how we think, feel, and act. This is social. This is mental health. A lot of us mentally are not stable. Why do you think the world's not stable? The world's not stable. A lot of kids aren't stable. If y'all haven't heard the news lately, there was a kid that killed his whole family. Killed his mom, dad, brother, and sister. Took them all out. Don't let me go down the list. I love news because this is reality. A lot of people hide from reality. And we're going to go deeper. But it says, it also helps determine how we handle stress, relate to others, and make choices. Mental health is important at every stage of life, from childhood and adolescent through adulthood. Even a lot of adults have mental issues, mental health problems, self-esteem issues, motivation issues, I'm not good enough issues. How much more the kids now, man? Being exposed to gremlins. Do y'all understand that the people that are in your circle outside of the truth are gremlins? They don't care about you. They don't care. Individuals on all these different apps, gaming apps. I remember there was a couple that I knew. What was it? Dungeons and Dragons? What was that game? I think it's Dungeons and Dragons. You know, you can talk on there back in the day. They was making, couples were coming on that, coming together. A lot of it didn't last though. A lot of it didn't last because you thought you wanted something, but when you unwrapped the package, it was a monster. But go to Wisdom of Solomon 14. Wisdom of Solomon chapter. Oh, actually, you know what? No, go to 1 John 2 and 26. My apologies. 1 John. Is everybody with me? I know I talk pretty fast. 1 John chapter 2 and verse 26. Just going on this point of how the wicked try to obscure, darken our children's mind. Come. Because why? We're trying to satisfy the world. Our kids are trying to satisfy the world, not mom, not dad, not the Most High. They want to satisfy everything outside of righteousness because they don't understand that they're being seduced by the wicked. They're being undermined by naughtiness purposely. But then I'm going to say this, parents, you got to be aware. And that's the reason why I brought forth this class on this angle, is to bring forth awareness, because we are amongst our enemies. Read where you at.
1 John chapter 2 and verse 23.
26.
26. These things have I written unto you concerning them that seduce you.
See, we got to understand that there's people in the world that's going to seduce us. Give me the definition of seduce. And go to Wisdom of Solomon 14 and 22. The Most High already foretold us about individuals that were going to seduce adults and children. But this is child self. What you got out there? You got to say a little bit louder.
To persuade to disobedience or disloyalty.
To do what?
To persuade to disobedience or disloyalty.
Think about that. It says, these things I have written unto you concerning them that seduce you. That do what? What is it again?
To persuade to disobedience or disloyalty.
Yeah, them that persuade you. Them that are disloyal. Or it says to make disloyal, right? It says to make disloyal. So they want to make you disloyal from your creator, your power. That's their job. That's the job of the internet. That's the job of Instagram. That's the job of Snapchat. That's the job of, I'm going to say this, not even only that, the world itself. What you got, Aria?
It says to draw aside or entice from the path of the duty or in any manner.
What is that? Where did you get that from? 1828?
Yeah.
I love that boy. That's a Webster 1828. Read it again.
It says to draw aside or entice.
To draw aside or entice. They want to take you off that righteous path that your parents is teaching you. They want to hinder you from your greatness. And they want to make you what? Lame. They want to make you just like them. Horrible. Ashamed. The world is like that. The world loves individuals just like them. Beat down. Don't know up from down. Confused. But it says they're trying to do what?
It says to draw aside or entice.
To draw aside or entice. Read.
From the path.
Go ahead.
Of the duty by any man.
They're trying to draw you from the path of what God has for you. At Daniel's 1 and 3. Come on, we could be bright and intellectual individuals, have our own business, have our own community, even amongst our enemies until Christ comes back. We can have it all. We don't got to be underneath them. But what does that mean we have to do? Understand that they're trying to seduce us. They're trying to hold us back. Are you holding yourself back? Are we allowing our enemies to hold our children back? That has to be a question. One thing Israelites love to do is run from problems. We don't like to acknowledge our issues.
That's right.
Israelites do not like to acknowledge their issues.
That's right.
Plain and simple. I know it hurts, but I'm going to say this. Once you get that medicine, you understand that pain, you had to feel it. You had to feel it because that's what makes us great. What you got?
I mean, they even have like degrees for things that don't matter to seduce you.
Right.
And there's some that don't matter, like art degrees or something.
Bring it out.
If you're artistic, you're artistic. Because when I was in school, I'm artistic. I can draw. I can do anything I see. I can replicate.
Right.
So I was always told, somebody would say, "You should take art class. You should take art class." So I'll go to art class and I hate it. I'm like, this is stupid. Why are you telling me how to put what I see on paper when I already know how to do it? It's stupid as hell.
Right.
So I never liked it. I was like,
right. But how much more are children now? The little small slide things that they're, listen, Virginia actually passed that they're going to teach homosexual history.
They do in Colorado already.
They do in Colorado already, the sister said. That's mandatory now. What about homosexual history? That you get AIDS and sexual diseases? That you can't have children? What is it that they're going to teach? What you got? Hold on, real quick, I'm wondering. What you got, Tiana?
They teach you how to perform the sexual acts.
Do they really?
That's what's supposed to be in the course.
Lord. Man. She just said that, you got something next, Xavier, too?
Yeah, I believe also in Florida, they're teaching it to preschoolers. They got a book called The Gay BCs.
Oh, okay. The gay BCs, man.
Yeah.
I believe it. Because Esau's a gay B. Esau's filthy, man. And we're going to go into this, how they think and how they move. But the sister just said that even in the course of the homosexuality, they teach you how to have the relations. It's sad. But that's what we have to be on guard for. Is their doctrine. Bro, that's sick. And the sad part, I can go deep, that's another class, but majority of those relationships end in domestic violence.
That's right.
It ends in domestic violence because the Most High did not ordain that. He said it was unnatural. When you go to Romans chapter 1 and verse 26 on down.
That's right.
Unnatural. But this is what they do. Where we at?
1 John chapter 2 and verse 26. These things have I written unto you.
Right.
Concerning them that seduce you.
Right. Go ahead. Oh, that's it. Wisdom of Solomon 14 and 22. Because they are trying to seduce our children. They are trying to seduce them, man. And I'm going to say this. We have to understand that there's a lot of individuals that are on these online websites. Y'all must ain't seen the Catch a Predator. Y'all gotta watch that. All those little YouTube videos, catching predators, grown men going after 12-year-old girls, 11-year-old boys. Huh? And I'm gonna go a little bit deeper. But read where you at.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 14, verse 22.
Go ahead.
Moreover, this was not enough for them, that they erred in the knowledge of God.
Yeah, see, our enemy has erred in the knowledge of God, and we do too. Because we go after what they seduced us with. But what are they teaching us? Read.
But whereas they lived in the great war of ignorance,
go ahead.
Those so great plagues called they peace.
Yeah, the plagues they call peace. These plagues we call peace. Give me 1 second. 22. These great plagues they call peace. Go ahead. Actually, go to verse 21.
Verse 21. And this was an occasion to deceive the world.
And that's what they're trying to do. Deceive the world, deceive our children. Go ahead.
For men, serving either calamity or tyranny.
That's what you serve when you're on social media. Tyranny or calamity. You're not serving anything else outside of that. That's why all the videos we see, all the laughs we get, it's nothingness. But you be on there for hours. You be out there posting nothing, food. For what? Validation from somebody. I had to delete it. You can't find me on Facebook, I'm ghost. Can't find me on Instagram, I'm ghost. You know why? Esau themselves will tell you what's going on with social media. Y'all gotta watch that Netflix series. Or that Netflix video. What was it? Social Dilemma. Oh my goodness. That is fire. Social Dilemma on Netflix. What you got?
Even with the status and level of the Catholic Church in society, they have a thing called like the kings of England, Scotland, Ireland wrote. It's called the something covenant. I get it for you.
The gay covenant?
No, but they
Voodoo boy covenant.
They're like they basically describe the papacy, or whatever the Pope thing is called, that whole thing as being wicked, even from like the 1400s, and it was being set up to take the people, the children of God, from the ways of God. It was an evil thing for men. But it's been turned in. What does everybody think? They think that's the head, like that. They think that's under God.
Right.
Like you got the angels, and then you got the Catholic Church.
Right.
Like the Pope being the head.
Yeah, Pope is just so fragile and sweet. Oh, so sweet, brother. Sad, man. But that's what they do, though. Read where you at. It says they they try to deceive the world for men. Read.
Serving either calamity or tyranny.
Read.
Did ascribe under stones and stocks the incommunicable name.
Yeah, we serve all these outside gods, outside powers. Whenever we're giving our energy to social media, what really is social media? I'm gonna say this. A lot of people don't understand that there's a lot of pedophiles out here, man. And America agrees with it, but what happens with our children? You get seduced by them. You get seduced. Facebook, Instagram knows exactly what they're doing. That's why this happens, man. I'm going to show you something dealing with this health. Dealing with this health. These are early warning signs that you have what? A mental health issue. But I'm going to tell you it's coming from, not from the Bible. It's coming from the world. They cause confusion. It says the wicked know not where they step at. Give me that scripture. Or where they slip at. But warning signs of mental health issues is what? Eating or sleeping too much or too little. You know it. Now I'm going to say this. We know a lot of brothers and sisters are tired, but we know when we do what? I just want to just sleep, man, forever. I just want to sleep forever. But why? What is going on with you to where you just want to sleep forever? Who hurt you? Go ahead.
You're a servant.
What do you mean by that?
You're a servant. Even from being this big, they train you up to want to be a servant.
Right.
What's it called? Career day. From kindergarten. Do you want to be a fireman, a policeman, an astronaut?
Right.
A damn astronaut. A make-believe profession.
Yep.
Because come to find out, you can't even go in space.
Right.
But, you want to be a maintenance man. You want to be a nurse. Not even a doctor. Do you want to grow up to be a nurse? Any profession. Do you want to grow up and your dream should be to be a servant A professional athlete.
Basically, we are.
Servant.
That's why I gotta watch that social media dilemma, because we're a servant to the online, to that app. What happens? That app brings up things that you searched on. They already can predict the choices that you make, because why? They see how long you looked at a picture. They see what you went back to and looked at on your phone. They see what you have. What? They look at your search bar and see exactly what you're searching. They can create a profile of you. And if you didn't know, on that social dilemma, you got to see when they first constructed the image of the boy, right? It was just like the outline. But then everything so surely start getting more detailed. They start learning more, because why? You're on your phone. They're recording you. They're looking at you. And then what happened at the end, they knew exactly what he was going to do. What you got?
Yeah, YouTube definitely do that. YouTube, like I know
Oh, yeah.
a lot of rap videos and music.
Right.
It's like they got commercials now. They got rap music and commercials.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, they do it a lot on YouTube.
Even with that, but again, what they're showing our children is literally defiling their spirit. Go to verse 26. Let's get down to the point.
Verse 26.
Uh-huh.
Disquieting of good men.
Read.
Forgetfulness of good terms.
That's what they want to do. Read.
Defiling of souls.
They do what?
Defiling of souls.
They want to defile your spirit. They want to make you the girls, little boys. They want to make single parent homes. Think about that. There's so many different stages of what they did to our people. In the 90s, it was crack. Huh? In the 70s, in the 80s, it was heroin. Right? Now it's weed. Everybody, edibles, weed. Everybody's getting out their mind. They're trying to dull us down. Now what? 2000s. Social media. Social media. There's some type of distraction. But they're trying to defile our spirit. Go to Isaiah 5 and 20. Isaiah chapter 5 and verse 20.
You want that Proverbs?
We can get that. No, I guess.
Gotcha.
Right. Isaiah 5 and 20. Just showing forth again. Huh?
Well, this is dropping.
Oh, you dropped that. Drop that. Yeah, Isaiah 5 and verse 20.
Isaiah chapter 5
Thank you for asking. Go ahead.
and verse 20.
Uh-huh.
Woe unto them that call evil good.
And that's what's going on. A lot of things that we think in the world via social media, we think is good. We think homosexuality is good. We think disrespecting our parents is good, and I can do whatever I want to. I can talk how I want to. I can, what do they call it? I can emancipate myself from my parents if I want to. Where you learn that from? I ain't never read emancipate in the Bible. Huh? You got that from Esau. You got that from the world. But it says what? Read it again.
Woe unto them that call evil good.
And when you deal with the word woe, it means destruction to you. Destruction to you that call evil good. Where we at again now?
Isaiah chapter 5 and verse 20.
Go ahead.
Woe unto them that call evil good and good evil.
Because it has been switched. It's like it's bad for us to want to obey the laws and statutes of the Bible now. Our family members have issues with our kids not eating pork. What does that mean? Keep your kids away from the defiledness. If it has to be away from your grandparents, hey, keep them away until they can respect it. Because it says, woe to them. I can't allow your impressionableness and the things that you believe to be pushed upon my children when I'm trying to lead them into a different path. Because I understand that what? This world is evil and perverse. Read it again.
Woe unto them that call evil good.
Read.
And good evil.
Read.
That put darkness for light.
Social media, Instagram is darkness before light, man. It's sad. It is like you're really watching prostitution on the screens. On the screen. It's funny, man. We got a coworker. We got a coworker in the mall, and she made a statement to me about somebody hit her up in her DMs and was saying all these weird things to her, right? I was like, so what you doing? She was like, nothing. I didn't do anything. So she's on our Instagram. I seen her. Her picture came up. I said, wait a minute. Hold on. I said, I know her from somewhere, right? Looked at it. I looked at her page. I said, oh, stop the madness. Stop the madness. I see you. You enticing. You out here doing what? Those are thirst traps. But you want to act like you ain't doing nothing. Like, I ain't doing nothing. Yes, you are. You're doing a whole lot of something. But that's our people's mentality. They think that they're not doing wrong when you are. You're literally giving yourself up. You're telling everybody that what? I'm available. I need help. How much more the children when they see that? That's all they see. What they do, they mimic it. They want to talk like them, walk like them, be just like them. Our people are literally saying that good is evil and evil is good. Go ahead.
That put darkness for light.
Go ahead.
And light for darkness.
Yeah. And light for darkness. Go to Philippians 2:15. That's why you parents, man, got to stand bold. Y'all got to read Maccabees, man. I'm in this Maccabees just dissection, understanding, man, what our people were fighting for. How the heathens tried to come up against him. See, at that time it was more physical. Now it's more psychological and mental of the warfare that's being done to our people. I just seen a movie about Waco. It was a show, Waco. And it said, the guy was like, the FBI agent was like, they made a statement to him. They said, we heard you were using psychological warfare. He said, I never heard of that before, psychological warfare. Stop playing. You the FBI. They know what they do. They know how they try to pull in our kids, to make them feel like they're not adequate. They know how to distract them. Read where you at.
Philippians 2:15. That ye may be blameless and harmless.
The Most High wants you like that. Blameless and harmless. Read.
The sons of God.
Go ahead.
Without rebuke.
Read.
In the midst of a crooked and perverse nation.
We're what?
In the midst of a crooked and perverse nation.
We're in the midst of a crooked and perverse. Give me the definition of perverse. We are in the midst of a crooked and perverse nation. Why is our guard down? You children can't believe everything you see. You're better than me. You delete all that junk. All that garbage. Why? Because it's defiling the mind. It defiled us. Think about it. Let me get back on these chats, see if I'm saying something. It's defiling us. It defiled us. How much more them? They've been brought up on this their whole life. Kaya said social media is set up to make you feel bad about yourself. Your weight, your looks, your job, your relationship, your kids. I'm about to hit it, Kaya. I'm about to get on it. Yes. Many use social media to express their personal drama. I stay away from the drama and ungodly, which is 99% of Facebook. Facts. Because why? That's their only form to communicate. They don't know how to talk. They don't know how to use the function that the Most High gave them. The tongue to interpret. The interpreter. We don't know how to use that because why? You got to go on there and go to work. You feel weird. It's like when you go into the gym and run that 7 miles. You can't do 7 miles. Why? Because you never did it. It's the same thing if you had to talk. A lot of people don't talk, so they don't know how to talk. But one thing they do know how to do is Twitter fingers. Twitter fingers be popping. Twitter fingers be jumping. Instagram fingers be jumping. That false reality you live be jumping. Where we at?
Definition.
Oh, definition. There it is.
Perverse.
Brain be jumping. Perverse. Go ahead.
Literally turned aside.
Oh my goodness. What?
Literally turned aside.
You're literally. This nation is turned aside. What else you got?
Hence, distorted from the right.
There. Ooh. Oh. Read it again.
Hence, distorted from the right.
This nation is distorted from the right-hand side, which means what? Righteousness. You got the right, you got the left. I love that. What are you reading that out of?
Webster 1828.
1828. That is an OG book. I need to get the hard copy. It says you are what?
Literally turned aside.
Literally turned aside. You're opposite of righteousness. This nation is opposite. Esau is opposite. The nations, the 17 other nations outside of Israel is opposite. Go ahead.
Obstinate in the wrong.
Read.
Disposed to be contrary.
Contrary. So everything that they give us is what?
Contrary.
You gotta look at the news. You gotta look at these reports. You gotta look what they allow. Let's get it real quick. I'm gonna show you how it's so contrary. Y'all can look this up. Even when you deal with, there's so many different topics, but lately, there's a lot of talk about the pedophilia because we did a video with Jeffrey Epstein and Disney and how they've been implementing all these different videos and images to what? To defile our children's mind. Then it goes up into what? From Disney, you got Justin Timberlake going into the music, Christina Aguilera, all these people, to where now they've been sexualized. Now adults like young children. But this is one thing that was going on about a lot of men and women that like children. This is what they passed. The UK were fortunate. There was a group in UK that they wanted sex dolls for adults. Sex children dolls. This is their case. This is what they said. They said, let's give pedophiles dolls so that it will cause them to not want to physically go get a young girl or a young boy. We can go through the whole the internet, universe, and see a lot of different articles where individuals were okay with that. They actually gave it to them. Check this out. There's an article. Which one is it? This is the New York Post. This is one. There's a couple of them. But there was an individual that got caught up for, check this out. They went to his house for the dolls, right? Technically, he didn't get in trouble for the doll. He got in trouble for the pictures that he had. But again, there was a group that's giving dolls out to these individuals. It says, outrage over push to give pedophiles child sex dolls. A charity in the UK has sparked outrage by calling for so-called sex dolls to be made available for pedophiles on prescription. Prescription by who? Prescription by who? The doctors. Oh, I know. It's a prescription. Wait a minute. But leading charities and police chiefs in the UK want to criminalize the dolls and say they are more likely to lead to offending. Duh. But check this out. The National Crime Agency says it has intercepted 123 dolls since March, and that the seizures had led them to 123 alleged offenders, including 7 men who are now facing charges. They're not facing charges on the dolls. They're facing charges on whatever they found. But what I'm saying is, this is something that they do to continue or to put to the side of something that they agree with. It's been going on for ages. You have something to say?
I was going to say, but it ain't even going to do that. It's going to do the opposite. It's going to desensitize them to what they're doing is wrong.
Oh, it's going to make them beastly.
Exactly, because it's going to basically train them up that it's okay.
Right.
Because you're taking away any type of guilt, you're taking away any type of punishment, because if you're caught with them dolls, you're not getting punished for the dolls, like you just said. But they also think they can take away something that you can't. And
right.
That's that two becoming one.
Right.
You can't ever get rid of that. So their problem is way deeper than that. The problem is they're damn demons, but
right.
Giving them dolls ain't gonna help. It's just gonna promote.
Right, but what I'm definitely, and y'all gotta watch that video that Kazak did, because it's not just only average people. These are individuals. When you go through that Jeffrey Epstein and how deep he was getting girls from France at 11 years old, sisters coming over, flying them over and flying them back. This is for sure that it happened. Eyewitnesses. You got people on manifestos. But think about it. Oh, I wish Shariah was here. There was another guy that's like he has 1 million followers, but he was going in at how a 7-year-old girl with makeup turns him on. Who? Shane Dotson. There he is. He was on the radio saying that, but check this out. Why is he so loose to talk? Because it's the norm. See, with our kids, when you're on Instagram and this, you don't think about that. When you're talking to random strangers, you're not thinking about that. What you got?
I believe it's vice versa though. When it comes to like teenagers, this and that, you know what I mean?
What do you mean by vice versa?
The age, like people don't even care about the age no more. I think it's vice versa. You got young girls out here too, live, 14, 15, say they 20.
No, I'm with you. But yeah. I'm with you on that.
I'm just saying it's vice versa. I think it's both. I just don't think it's just the adult. I'm thinking also the teenagers.
Right, but again, go back to that Wisdom of Solomon. How though?
And the only reason why I say that is because a younger guy,
4 and 12.
A younger guy can really do nothing for a younger female around the age of 17, 18, who could do for a younger girl is be an older man. I mean, so it's vice versa.
Right, but I'm gonna show you how. But I feel that. But listen to understand what I'm bringing out just on that point. No, you're right on point with that. But understand where it's coming from. Understand that mentality, where it's coming from. What mentality is a young woman in to where she wants an older man now? What happened to her in her history? Let's say this. What happened to her in her life to where now she's attracted to older men? A lot of young women are doing what? They're getting fondled on. They're seeing certain things. What you got?
A lot of times they also didn't grow up with a father figure, so they looking to replace what they was missing from that.
That's facts. I'm with that, but listen what I'm saying though. Definitely on point. But the mind has to literally, something has to enter into the mind for that thought process to actually come to life, right?
Find the strong man and then put in the, what you talking about.
Right. You got the wisdom of Solomon?
Yeah.
That's the Bible, let me see.
Huh?
That's the whole Bible?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Okay, read that. Right.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 4 and 12.
Go ahead.
For the bewitching of naughtiness.
For the bewitching of naughtiness. That's what's happening. They fascinate that mentality. Think about it. If a younger woman wants older men, but the older men want the younger woman, they've already put into social media, they've already put into their doctrine to push that agenda. That agenda's been pushed. That's why that's happening. But that's why you have individuals like Jeffrey Epstein that's exposing all the elites that like that. These young girls don't know what the heck's going on. You think they're literally, yes, they're aware of what they're doing, but do you think they really have the understanding to truly recognize? Check this out. I bet if you even ask them if they will want their daughter to do the same thing, they'll say no. Because they'll understand the hurt and the harm. When you listen to these videos of these girls with Jeffrey Epstein and just the whole community, oh, they're broken. They start crying. Why? Because they were taken advantage of. Yes, it could have been for the father not being there, but it's because, read it again.
For the bewitching of naughtiness.
The bewitching of naughtiness. That mind. They literally made it fascinating. And a lot of them say this. They tricked them because they said, you're going to be a model. You're going to be this. You're going to be a masseuse. A lot of them thought they were going to be a masseuse. 16, 17. What you got?
I also think it's younger men or older women. I think it's vice versa on that too. I think it's.
Man, we can hit all levels. It's definitely that.
I believe it's like that too. Like a younger man, older women. You know what I mean?
Right. No, I'm with that. Why? Because think about it. You had boys in Atlanta, right? In the 90s. It was the 90s, right? Oh.
84.
84. There was 24 boys, 20, 30 boys in Atlanta that were selling their body. Well, not all of them. Majority of them were selling their bodies for money to get their family to pay bills and stuff like that. But there was a murderer going around. That's crazy. I was on Mindhunter. I don't want to give it away. But this individual was preying on boys that were prostituting themselves. Think about it. Yeah, it was definitely probably women that they were giving themselves to or men. So it's all around. But again, what made that thought go in that thought, or what made their mind go into that path? What obscured them? What took them off their path, like you said? How the wicked seduceth? They seduce us to do what? It's either money. It's either they're seducing them to get money, attention, a certain feeling. But what I'm showing you is that the level where we fell from. We were Daniel's 1 and 3. We can stand in the king's court. Now we can't even do what? Look at our parents in the eyes because of the things we've done. The thought process, the thoughts that are in my mind. I can't have a genuine conversation because I'm hiding things now as a child. Because why? Read it again.
For the bewitching of naughtiness doth obscure things that are honest.
It does obscure things that are honest because a kid is honest, man. It's pure. 13, 12-year-old girl is pure, man. I got nieces. I've seen them grow up. They're pure until something happens. Until something has entered into that brain to where you got that wandering concupiscence. Huh? Where was that seed at? The Bible talks about that evil seed that was in Adam's mind. Well, where was that seed dropped at? Where did that seed start growing from? See, but again, I pose these thoughts because we're at war. They're literally trying to take our children. Boys, girls, read.
And the wandering of concupiscence.
Go ahead.
Doth undermine the simple mind.
Yeah, it undermines the simple mind. Just showing forth that we're in a wicked and perverse generation. 1 Maccabees 3 and 21. What you got? Go ahead, pull what you got. Finally.
Yeah. 1 Corinthians chapter 15 and verse 33.
So yeah, 1 Corinthians chapter what?
15 and verse 33.
Go ahead.
Be not deceived. Evil communications corrupt good manners.
So just showing about that, you know, him saying like, about you saying about how does that thought, where does that thought come from?
Right.
You know, him being around that person that's, you know, defiled, his mentality is defiled, her mentality is defiled, and she's entertaining all this wickedness.
Right.
Without this good person who has no understanding, but they just have, you know, they just been raised around, they've been sheltered. Right. And they don't know nothing about wickedness.
This is a new doctrine, something new that they've heard.
So it's like, it's corrupting them, but because they don't see the defilement in it. Because they've never been exposed to it.
Right. I like that. The brother just pulled 1 Corinthians what?
15 and verse 33.
Read that again.
Be not deceived. Evil communications corrupt good manners.
And you're showing forth that the evil communication is coming from the world. The evil communication is coming outside of what the Most High told us. The evil communication is coming from the things that we see on social media, in movies, TVs, our friends in school. Because their talk has done what? Now corrupted our spirit. To where now we're doing the same thing. We rolling blunts. You know, I think it was quite a sight that in Houston, they were smoking in junior high, in the school. There was a girl pregnant in junior high. Ain't nothing new. But think about it. But we look at it as like, ooh, I want a boyfriend now. Do you really? You want a cat that really don't care about you, just not talk to you? You give your all to him? Then he dumps you in the dirt? You got little boys, grown women that just use you and abuse you? But we have to see that 1 Maccabees 3 and 21.
1 Maccabees chapter 3, verse 21.
Yeah, 1 Maccabees chapter 3. Actually, you know what? Let's go into it. Go to verse 20. I like that. Go to verse 20.
Verse 20. They come against us.
And they is the world, this perverse nation. The individuals that don't want Israel to thrive, don't want our children to thrive. They do what?
They come against us.
Go ahead.
In much pride and iniquity.
Read.
To destroy us.
Go ahead.
And our wives and children.
And our what?
And our wives and children.
Yeah, they want to destroy our wives and our children. Go ahead.
And to spoil us.
They do. They want to spoil our minds. We got an elite mind. Our mind sparks at a different level. Those neurotransmitters, you may have times 10. But they want to spoil us, take the husbands, the wives, the children. But this is what parents, even children, this is what you have to be in the mind of. Read.
But we fight for our lives and our laws.
We do what?
We fight for our lives and our laws.
Yeah, we fight for our lives and our laws. This is a war. Because why? They're slowly but surely trying to undermine. They're trying to make our children feel as if they're not adequate. Because that's what social media does. They try to make our children have a FOMO complex. Who knows what that means? FOMO. Who knows what FOMO means? Anybody? I'm going to wait. Who knows what FOMO means online? I'm going to just take you just a little bit longer. Who knows what FOMO means?
The fear of homosexuality?
No, that's a good one though. FOMO. What you got,
The fear of missing out.
Said very fast. The fear of missing out. Social media makes you do what? Dang, I wish I was there. Dang, I wish I could do that. Oh, Jimmy's having a good time. Yeah, doing wickedness. Nigga smoking weed.
Yeah.
Look at Jill. She's out with the whole crew. Yes, bouncing around like a thought. Like a chicken head. That's what she's doing. Chicken head. Yeah, you like my outfit? Come on. Yes, FOMO. Depression, anxiety. You 12, why you depressed? I never forget that my niece said she got anxiety. I said, Negro, please. Literally. For what? Your mom pay your phone bill, you got dough, you got food, because you're entertaining things that are unstable. You're giving your mind over to things that are not stable. Social media is it's not meant for you to do what? To grow off of it. Think about it. Everybody want to be a YouTube star. Are you for real? Everybody want to be a fitness model. A fitness, like, how many different workouts do we have to see? You got to do it this way, which is sumo voice. Be like, that's all you're worth? That's what America has made our children think that they're worth. Gamers, fitness models. End of the story. YouTubers. End of the story.
They even got,
go ahead.
They even got a thing called, I think, Just Fans or something.
Oh, yes. No, what is it called? It's called, what is it called?
Fans Only.
Fans Only. Just fans, fans only, all of it. Think about that. Go ahead. What you got on that?
And I think, like, they do all types of shit. Like, I think females, like, use it to like, strip or try on,
yeah,
like, you know.
I was introduced.
Or something.
Yeah, I was introduced. It's funny. One of our customers in the mall, because she told me about it. But it's called Cam Soda, right? I'm like, I never heard of Cam Soda. It's Cam Soda. You look at Cam Soda. Cam Soda's same thing. Fans only. They do this thing, get the little video. They don't like this right here, like me. But I can do I can do all that, right? But everybody's doing that now. Cam Soda, one-on-one, you getting paid, cats paying you for it, they subscribe to your channel, what happens? Everybody's getting the fans only now. It's easy, I can make money in the comfort of my home, shaking butt. Being provocative. But how many links are to that OnlyFans? I'm gonna say this, Instagram is a portal to other links. That's why when you go through the search of your kid's phone, you be like, what the heck? You been looking at that? Huh? Oh, you been looking at it? Huh? Oh, so that's why you ain't been paying attention. That's why your mind's been wandering. Because why? Ooh, you don't let the filth take you over, huh? What you got?
I was looking on my phone the other day, and I had mistakenly clicked something, but it took me somewhere to like show me like activity that I've been on.
Right.
It was like some porn sites. I'm like, I don't get on porn. I haven't been on any porn sites on my phone, and nobody's had my phone.
Right.
So like going into what you just said about there's links on top of links on top of links on top of links. They be connected through just about anything.
Oh yeah, but that's what Esau wants to do. They want to trip you up. They want to get your spirit to see that. Oh. Once your eyes see that, there's the wandering.
And I'll get like, and you probably do too, probably all men in here. I'll get random like Facebook requests from
bro, I've deleted Facebook, thank the Lord.
From like a Russian name, and the picture would be like obviously a whore.
And you got like one brother from the Israelite community that got it?
Yeah.
You like that? Are you following too, brother? Bro, it'd be like that.
And then
I'm not calling no shots, I'm just saying it'd be like that.
It'd be like click links.
That's why I'm not on Facebook. You ain't gonna, listen, I'm not gonna get caught into the trap. No. But going back into social media, what it does, it says FOMO. You isolate yourself. Why? Because you and your phone's your only friend. Me, myself, and my phone. Think about it. Catch me on Facebook just laughing. Yeah, look at that nigga there. Oh, my girl's having a good time. Drinking a little food. It'd be 9 o'clock. I'm like, get ready for work. Like your day's done. Kids, right? They be on the game all day. Ain't to the bath. Didn't eat. Be on their phone. Their mind be gone. They isolate themselves. Isolation. Where do you think that spirit? Esau knows what they're doing. Especially to the kids. If the kids knew what unity was, oh my goodness. You'll have more friends than you'll ever believe. But what do? They want to isolate you. Then you go into what? Like I said, depression and anxiety. How do you get depressed off of social media? You know why? Because you're looking at it and it says, I put this down, it says, inadequacy about your life or appearance. And I think, Kaya, you wrote into that. But you're inadequate. You think that you're not at the level of your life and your appearance that you should be at because you look at other people that you desire to be like. You're looking at other people that you desire to be like, not knowing that their life is in shambles. They lie. Social media is a falsehood. Don't believe what you see.
That's right.
You can't.
I was at getting my oil changed, and and the lane over, because you know, be a line is the valve lane. It's a chick in a busted down car, but she got like a fur coat on, her hair done up.
Bro.
She had her phone, and like I don't know what she was on, but probably like what you're talking about right now. Probably exactly what you're talking about. She was putting on Facebook this great life, like you know, she's a bad bee and all that. But then in actuality, she's driving a car that's about to break down.
Right.
And lives on Section 8.
Come on. Just real quick, Kaya said you gotta stay away. She said just them reaching out to them with gifts. What'd she say? Oh, yeah, just them reaching out to them with gifts or allowing those people to believe nothing is wrong. Dogs don't scream, cry, or bleed. Kaya said this subject brings tears to my eyes. As a mother, it is the worst thing to imagine happening to your child. Listen, that's why it has to be brought out, because it's absurd how relaxed we get. We get relaxed in the land of our captivity. That's why the scripture yesterday says that we've, in Baruch chapter 3, is that we wax old in the land of our captivity. Because we're not seeing that this is what's happening to our children. It happened in the 80s. The only reason why the FBI went down there to Atlanta because mothers are the one that was like, no, this cannot continue to happen. It was over 25 to 30 young boys from the age of 12, 15, 11, 9. They were being murdered and abducted, man. What you got?
It was Wayne Williams, 28 kids from 1979, 1981.
There it is, Wayne Williams, man. Wayne Williams was what? He wanted to be like this music producer. So he was getting kids that wanted to do what? Try to get out the hood, man. But it shows for that our kids are so manipulated. They can be easily manipulated. They believe everything. Why do you think a lot of young girls is getting together with men online? Why do you think young boys is getting together with men online? They believe everything they hear and they see. Because you said a couple good words, so got a couple weeks. Now you fascinated. Not knowing who in the hell you dealing with. You did a little bit of video talk. He looked like he's 13, probably 33.
Oh.
Come on, bro. This earth is defiled. But you know what happens though? What Esau, what they do to our children, how you get into that depressive state? Social media, this is what happens physically to our children. Wisdom of Solomon 9 and 14. Wisdom of Solomon chapter 9 and verse 15, man. Say it again. No, Wisdom of Solomon chapter 9 and verse 14, now. This is what happens to our children. Rather than being, get that Wisdom of Solomon, give me Daniel chapter 1 and verse 3. I gotta use it back. If you can break down this real quick. I gotta use it back.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 9 and verse 14. For the thoughts of mortal men are miserable.
So this is letting you know this is the mind state that the world has to offer. This is the same sick, twisted mind state that the Most High wanted Israel to be separate from. Because the what?
Thoughts of mortal men.
Because the thoughts of these wicked nations are what?
Miserable.
Yeah, you got the FOMA, you got the child pornography, the pedophilia, you got the selling kids at a young age, defiling their young minds at an impressionable young age. Why? Because it's going to lead them into stupidity. You're going to get the continuation, which is of the drugs, the drug lords, or whatever. You got the prostitutes. You're going to have the pipeline that goes from elementary all the way to prison. And that's how our children are going to be. You're going to end up on the streets, or you're going to end up locked up, or you're going to end up in the cemetery. Why? Because the thoughts of these wicked nations are miserable for Israel. Go ahead.
And our devices are but uncertain.
And all they use is the devices. What's the device today? It's the social media. And that's how they affect our kids. And that's how they defile our kids. When you go further into that FOMO, when you go into what these images portray, it's defiling the mindset of our kids to go that route.
Yeah, read that again.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 9 and verse 14.
I love this. Go ahead.
For the thoughts of mortal men are miserable.
And that's what social media does. It makes you miserable because you can't adequately be to the point that you want to be at. Kaya, you said it the best about your weight. You see somebody else with a 3-6 pack, you know, but it's sad because all it does is take you just to do what? Put in a little bit of work. But mentally, that's all you're focused on. Now you're not motivated. You're lazy. What you got?
There's this movie called The Orphan.
Uh-huh.
And, it's where a married couple adopts, they think they're adopting a 9-year-old girl, but she's really like 33.
I remember that. But she was like some little like disfigured little.
Yeah, and she tried to seduce the father.
Oh, did she? Yeah, I gotta go into that. But that's
vice versa. Like I said, it's vice versa. They just take it one way around, the other way around too. It's vice versa. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I hope you don't think that I'm just doing this one straight way.
No, I'm just saying it's vice versa. That's all I'm basically saying. She's right. It's vice versa. It happens both ways. It's
Right.
vice versa. That's all I'm saying.
No, I'm with you, but yeah, I'm with.
I just basically say I'm agreeing. I want her to say I'm agreeing because she's young and I want to let her know adult. I agree.
Oh, got you. But yeah, so read that again.
For the thoughts of mortal men are miserable.
Yeah, they're miserable. Go ahead.
And our devices are but uncertain.
You probably hit it, but the devices are what? Snapchat, social media, YouTube. These devices that we use, gaming, these devices that we use to give us spirit, to give us life, it never satisfies us. Because it only touches the flesh a little bit. It's not really, the thing about it is that we're not recognizing the separation between our flesh and the spirit, even as kids. You don't know the difference. And Esau plays on that. Esau allows you to entertain the flesh, but in the long run, what happens? You become depressed. Why? Because you like this one boy, you like this one girl, and what happened? That's gone. That relationship ended due to the fact of lies or whatever happened. Then you go try to find somebody else on social media. You on Tinder. That didn't work. They just want to hit and run just for fun. That didn't work. So what happens? Now you're going down this road of, dang, so this is going to be my life? Now you're depressed. What you got, Ariana?
So what you're doing is the devices that are uncertain, you're developing it's a psychological dependency. You're psychologically dependent on the social media. And that's where your value or your mind state or your mentality comes from. Because if you get so many likes, then you feel a certain way. If you don't get so many likes, then you feel the opposite.
Right. Just real quick, Kaya said, he said, mind you, those people don't look the way I used to see all these pics where these women look gorgeous. Then you see them in real life and they look terrible. Makeup and angles break up families nowadays. That's facts. Come on, that's why I said the I have nothing to offer pose. Like it'd be a lot of Photoshop, certain angles, the hand on the side. But for what though? For a false reality. But our children see it and do what? They try to get all the plastic surgery. There was a woman, she's actually Israel. I think she's Israel. She got plastic surgery. She was like 26, 25. She ended up dying for another lip injection or something weird.
Kanye West's mom died.
Kanye West, I think she tried to do like a breast augmentation. And breast augmentation is like different. It's like you may be a little bit too big and try to take away and whatever.
Oh, is that what it was?
I don't think it was injected.
I thought it was like just for appearance.
Oh, it probably definitely was for appearance. It was something that she didn't like about herself. But why though? You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people, I want that body. What you got?
The internet also how you feel like you're bigger than life and not. The reason why I say that is because I got 22 videos and like 30 audio of my music on my YouTube page.
Right.
So I got 1,200 subscribers.
Ooh.
I sold 4,200 CDs. I realized that did way more for me, 80% more than the internet. Because I thought I had over 100,000 views. Like, okay, people watching me. But the internet also how you feel like you're bigger than life when you're really not.
Right, I like that because another fact on mental health dealing with social media or a negative effect of social media is called self-absorption. Self-absorption. Self-absorbed. Self-absorbed. Occupied with one's own feelings, interests, and situation. So yeah, you start really making up again your own reality in your mind because you only think about yourself, your feelings, your situation. But that also adds into what? That isolation. It's 921. It goes into that isolation. Keep reading that Wisdom of Solomon. Dang.
And our devices are but uncertain.
Yeah, our devices are yet uncertain. Go ahead.
For the corruptible body presses down the soul.
And that's what happens with kids. Your mind presses down your body. Now you're not motivated. Why? Because there's something that happened on Instagram. One of your friends said something about you on there, talked bad about you. Now what happens? You're like, dang, I'm not great. Now your body's being pressed down. You're groggy. Read.
And the earthly tabernacle weighed down the mind.
Yeah, weighs down the mind. Go ahead.
That museth upon many things.
And that's what happens even as kids. When things happen, you just sit there and think about it. Just like adults. Adults like to muse upon many things. Ecclesiastes 30 and 21. Ecclesiastes Chapter 30 verse 21. We got some more scriptures. I'm going to try to finish this class tonight. I got a couple more. But you muse upon all the negativeness that comes from Instagram, not knowing that it was a false reality. It was settled for you to feel that way.
And that's what weighs down the body. Con.
Read where you at.
Ecclesiastes chapter 30 and verse 21.
Go ahead.
Give not over thy mind to heaviness.
And we do that. As kids, you give your mind over the things you can't control. Social media, what people say about you. Even adults, what people say about you, what they think about you, outside of the truth. We allow that heaviness to be upon us. But it's because you've tried to intertwine yourself with the world. You try to intertwine righteousness with wickedness. It don't work. You try to have a standard for the world. You expect, check this out. We expect the world to hold the same standard that we have. That it ain't gonna happen. The world is not gonna hold our standard. So why assume or think that they'll have that? You're doing harm to yourself, thinking that somebody. Think about it. You got a dog, right? A dog's never been trained not to bite, but when it bites you, you get mad. Why? It was never trained not to bite. It wasn't trained not to bite. But the scripture says, do what?
Give not over thy mind to heaviness.
Read.
And afflict not thyself in thy own counsel.
If you get to a certain age, 14, 13, 12 and up, that mind starts moving. And you start being in your own mind, your own counsel. Your parents see it. You know it. You just be zoned out, acting like nothing's really going on. Oh, there's a lot going on. I just want a little taste. I just want to hear a little bit. Give me a little gossip. But a lot of young kids be in their own counsel because of what? The things that they've entertained. It ain't the Bible. The Bible don't have you like that. The Bible have you alert, has you on point. It's a backup. Check this out. The Bible's not going to have you out here looking all depressed. Check this out. I ain't pulled this scripture in a minute. Go to, my fault. Jeremiah 23:29. I don't know why I was back. Jeremiah 23 and verse 29. Social media makes you drained. Makes you look like you're not adequate enough to sustain life. You're not good enough for someone else. Where'd you get that from? What made you think that you're not good enough? What standard are you saying that you're not good enough upon? Is it the Bible? Or is it the standard of the world? We give them too much validation. We think that the world validates who we are. Read what scripture you're at, because this is what should turn us up. Go ahead.
Jeremiah chapter 23, verse 29.
Go ahead.
Is not my word like as a fire?
Go ahead.
Saith the Lord.
Think about that. The word of the Lord is like a fire. It's supposed to turn you up. It glows, it gets stronger. It's sharp. It's not like his word like a fire. So we have to ask ourselves, what makes us to be heavy? What allows us to do that? Let me go into my own mind. You're dealing with something outside of the Bible. We continue to deal with unstableness. Ecclesiastes 30 and 8.
Ecclesiastes chapter 30 and verse 8.
A lot of children have heaviness on their mind. And it's not from the world. It's not from the scriptures. It's from what they're being exposed to. And again, it's just awareness, man. It's just awareness because it's real. It's realer than what you think. Like, I think because we're so safeguarded, we don't really recognize what's going on in the world. You have childs being trafficked. Houston had one of the largest sex trafficking rings. Houston had one of the top ones, man. There's an artist out there. One of his rappers got caught up for 100 years for sex trafficking a 16-year-old girl. He got 100 years, man. They weren't playing with him. But that's what they talk about. They talk about pimping, right? Now you got men thinking, what? It's cool to be a pimp. It's cool to whore out your daughters, your sons. The scripture says, make not the daughters out of Zion's whores.
That's right.
Go ahead, what you got?
They even had, in the 90s, they even had on HBO, they had a special about pimps, and it basically was glorifying.
Oh, yeah.
Pimps up, hoes down.
Yeah.
That's
Read where you at?
Ecclesiastes Chapter 30 and verse 8.
That's why attention has to be given to the children. We have to keep our minds upon their minds. Read.
And horse not broken, becoming headstrong.
It's showing a relation. A horse that's not broken, a horse that thinks it can do whatever it wants to, run wherever it wants to, talk however it wants to, dress however it wants to. Read it again.
And horse not broken, becoming headstrong.
That horse will do what it wants to do if it's not told the right way, or if it's not shown how it should walk, how it should eat, how it should talk. It'll be headstrong. Headstrongs mean ungovernable. You can't govern that horse no more. Ungovernable. Directed by ungovernable will or proceeding from drop that. It says violent. Not easily restrained. A horse unbroken will be headstrong. Go ahead.
And a child left to himself.
And a child left to himself is showing a correlation in the same way. A child that's not checked on. A child that's not constantly, hold on, what you got going on? Oh, for real, what you been looking at? Oh, for real, what they say in class today? Oh, dang, how was that? Let me check that out. Let me see your phone real quick. Hold on, let me see, who you been talking to? Let me see the conversation real quick. See what you're supposed to be spiritual. It's a spiritual conversation. Let me see it. Read it again, that second precept.
A child left to himself.
Read.
Will be willful.
Yeah, a child left to himself will be willful. And a lot of us were left to ourselves. Look how we acted. How much more now our children in the social media age. We were left alone. We're not supposed to have our children like that because they will be willful the same way, headstrong, not willing to be governable. They think that they know the right way, not knowing that your little butt will get burnt. 2 Ezra 5 and 8. 2 Ezra chapter 5 and verse 8.
Still with that name?
No, you can drop that. No, don't do the 2 Ezra. Go to 2 Ezra 2 and 1. 2 Ezra chapter 2 and verse 1. We got to see that we can't allow our children to go down this path that America has set out for us. They don't want us to prosper. These are just the last scriptures. I'm not going to hold you too much longer, y'all. I just had to get it out. I couldn't do a part 4. So I'm going to go ahead and get these last couple scriptures out. Read where you at.
2 Ezra chapter 2 and verse 1.
Go ahead.
Thus saith the Lord, I brought this people out of bondage.
Read.
And I gave them my commandments by my servants the prophets, whom they would not hear, but despised my counsel.
They did what?
Despised my counsel.
Yeah, and we can't do that as parents. We can't despise the counsel of the Most High. What He's telling us to do to have our children walk in the stead of a Daniel's 1 and 3. We can't abuse that. Go ahead.
The mother that bare them said unto them.
The what?
The mother that buried them.
Go ahead.
Said unto them.
Read.
Go your way.
We can't do that. We can't leave our children just to go their way. You figure it out. Like our parents gave us better put a raincoat on. Like, that's it? Huh? You better watch who you're entertaining. Like, they don't really give us nothing. We can't do that to our children. Just go your way. No. Because you know why? You're going to go and get snatched up because you're slow. You're you're malleable to where anybody can propose what they want on you, their will on you. Come on, man. These serial killers are methodical. I said a serial killer. How much more of a serial pedophile? A serial take advantage of you. Read.
Go your way. Ye children. For I am a widow and forsaken.
Yeah, we can't do that. We can't be in that mindset of looking into our problems, self-absorbed into our madness, and not taking care of our children. 1 Maccabees 2 and 40. 1 Maccabees chapter 2 and verse 40, because we got to see this is a fight until we die. This is a fight until we die. You know, I know we touched on it a little bit. It didn't go too deep just for time's sake, but our children's mental health is highly important. We have to be upon them. I know it takes work. Ecclesiastes 7:15, hate not laborers' work, neither husbandry, which the Most High has ordained. Husbandry is taking care of things around. Just like the garden, our kids' mind has to be the same way. What seeds are you planting? What are you teaching? How are you raising them? Are you setting them up for success or setting them up for failure by not dealing with their mind and their spirit? We got to do better. We should want to do better. Read.
First Maccabees chapter 2 verse 40.
Go ahead.
And one of them said to another, if we all do as our brethren have done, and fight not for our lives and laws.
Think about it, because in the Maccabees, there was brothers that thought you couldn't fight on the Sabbath. But what happened? When the Greeks pulled up on them, they slaughtered them. He said, we can't be like our other brothers that are lazy, that don't want to put forth a fight. Read.
Against the heathen.
Against the who?
Against the heathen.
Our enemies. Go ahead.
They will now quickly root us out of the earth.
We have to recognize this is what the nations want to do to us and our children. Root us out of the earth. That's why they give us bad food like we went over in class. That's why they give us social media to distract us. That's why they make us like the things that they love. Go to Exodus 18 and 20. Actually, go to Ecclesiastes 30 and 10 real quick. Get that real quick, Shaquat. Ecclesiastes 30 and 10.
Come.
Go ahead.
Ecclesiastes chapter 30 and verse 10. Laugh not with him.
Go ahead.
Lest thou have sorrow with him.
You can't just laugh with your children like that's cool. Like that's being an adult. No. I'm being a parent. It's more than that. Yes, it's laughs. Read.
And lest thou gnash thy teeth in the end.
Think about that. Why? Because now you're mad because the actions that they're doing. Well, did you properly teach them? Did you properly show them, or did you give them up to the YouTube? You give them up to the games? Did we give them up to their own mind? As parents, man, the Most High requires more. Because our children had the standards of Daniel's 1 and 3. They were cunning in all knowledge, knew sciences. They could stand in the king's court. It was a lot that was put within them. Think about it. The school kind of does it. After school programs, we can do that at the house. You can sit down for an hour and a half, or an hour, just an hour every day, and go through a topic. Go through something new. It ain't hard. Go through a little bit of Hebrew. These are all things that we should want to instill. While teaching them, we're learning. Go ahead.
Give him no liberty in his youth.
Why? Why give him no liberty in his youth? Read.
And wink not at his folly.
Yeah, give him no liberty because it's time for him to learn. So when it's time for him to have the liberty, he understands. Now he's a well-formed Hebrew Israelite brother or sister. Not saying that they can't go nowhere. Just saying that keep them close. Not saying that they can't have friends, but understand who their friends is. Recognize it. Read.
Bow down his neck.
Go ahead.
While he is young.
Go ahead.
And beat him on the sides while he is a child.
Yeah, get him right. Read.
Lest he wax stubborn.
Because a lot of our people are stubborn. We are stubborn.
Like a whooping or something.
Yeah, spanking. Go ahead.
And be disobedient unto thee.
You don't want that. But it takes teaching. Read.
And so bring sorrow to thine heart.
Go ahead.
Chastise thy son.
Read.
And hold him to labor.
Come on.
Lest his lewd behavior be an offense unto thee.
You don't want that because America wants him to be lewd unto you. Objective. Evil. That's how they want our children to be. Exodus 18 and 20. But what does it take for our children not to be like that? Exodus 18 and verse 20, excuse me.
Exodus 18 verse 20.
What does it take for our children not to have these qualities? Go ahead.
And thou shalt teach them ordinances and laws.
You got to teach them the ordinances and laws of the Most High, how to go about their life, what is right and what is wrong. We have to put the difference. The Most High said he put a difference between the clean and the unclean. We do as well. Go ahead.
And shalt show them the way wherein they must walk.
You got to show them how they should walk as a young woman. Show them how they should walk as a young man. That's what made us great. But that's why the Most High separated us so we can actually truly teach them without being, without them being, what's the word? I don't want to use the word defiled again, but compromised. You don't want them to be compromised. You don't want their righteousness to be compromised with evil. You know how they say an agent was compromised? Well, that was because the other team got them. That was because the other country has already found out who he was. Infiltrated. You don't want them infiltrated by the enemy. Go ahead.
And the work that they must do.
And the work that they must do for men and for women. What your purpose is. Giving our children a purpose. Ecclesiastes 30:3. Because this is what you want at the end again.
Come.
Ecclesiastes chapter 30 and verse 3.
Ecclesiastes chapter 30 and verse 3.
And Ephesians 6 and 4, now to end it out. Go ahead.
He that teacheth his son grieveth the enemy.
And I'm going to bring it back to this. You want to teach them because you grieve Esau. Where you at?
Ecclesiastes chapter 30 and verse 3.
Go ahead.
He that teacheth his son grieveth the enemy.
Yeah, see, your enemy doesn't want you to teach your child. They want to let you just let him go and give him to them. Give him to the school system. Give him to the recreational areas where we got weird men with weird beards and weird women.
Yes, and you can get charged now if they don't go to school enough times.
Yeah,
you can get charged.
Think about why? Because they want to expose their doctrine within our children's mind. They want to implant their way. Now, if you don't have your child doing their doctrine, what happens? Is it a possibility your children being taken from you, or some type of repercussion? Let's say like homeschooling and stuff like that.
They gotta put you in jail.
Yeah, put you in jail.
What are they gonna do with the kids?
Oh, they put it right in the system.
There you go.
Oh yeah, you're not holding up to the curriculum we proposed. Yeah, but your curriculum is hogwash, respectfully. But the Most High say teach them. Go ahead.
He that teacheth his son grieveth the enemy.
Read.
And before his friends he shall rejoice of him.
Why? Because you literally instilled. I'm gonna say this. It's not saying that at a certain age your kid is gonna have to make their own decisions. But at least you can say this, you did your best. You held that standard. You did what you're supposed to do. That's all we can do. But I'm going to say one thing is that we're going to fight for our children's lives, for their spirit, for their mind. Ephesians 6 and 4. And how is it done?
Ephesians chapter 6 verse 4.
Go ahead.
And ye fathers, provoke not your children to wrath.
Go ahead.
But bring them up in the nurture and admonition of the Lord.
Yeah, it's about bringing them up in nurture, man. Nurturing them. Like you nurture your garden, like you nurture yourself. How much we're in tune to our feelings and what we want. Nurture your children the same way. This is what the Most High is showing us. Go back to that Daniel 1 and 3, because this is the standard. This is what the children should aim for. This is what we should teach them to aim for. Daniel 1 and 3. Get it quick.
Come. Daniel chapter 1 and verse 3.
Go ahead.
And the king spake unto Ashpenaz, the master of his eunuchs, that he should bring certain of the children of Israel, and of the king's seed, and of the princes, children in whom was no blemish, but well favored.
Well what?
Well favored.
Our children need to be well favored, because we got to understand that our enemies want them. Our enemies want to take them out of our hands, man. Just like they did when they sliced our babies out of the women in Dominican Republic, in Haiti, and all the other areas. Go ahead.
And skillful in all wisdom.
Yes, skillful in all wisdom. Go ahead.
And cunning in knowledge. And understanding science, and such as had ability in them.
We can do it, man. Go ahead.
To stand in the king's palace.
We can do it. We can do it, man. So I just want to give that class. Hopefully it was a good class for brothers and sisters. It's 9:40. Not trying to hold you much longer. Tomorrow we're going to have Sabbath class with Houston. So I greatly appreciate y'all staying in there with us, even though the internet connection. So with that, thank you. We're going to say shalom. Shalom! Oh yeah, gotta turn it off. Yeah, forgot about that.
How you click the X?
The water Bakar the bar. What do you say?
The X?
Yeah.
Okay.
Gotta save it. Hit that right there.